I am about to... Hold on. Okay. Hi. I'm about to play Heart of the Woods. I'm streaming it because I don't know. I want to share it with everybody. We'll do this together. Oh my gosh, there's a bunch of options. Oh, I'm not using a controller. Alright, I guess I'll get started. Oh my gosh. I'm not reading these things. I should be reading them. Okay, the vast majority of those emails go unanswered. If Tara weren't so capricious, this one probably would have to. But no. Something about journeying to the middle of nowhere for a month struck her fancy, and like always, I let myself get dragged into it. So here I am for the last time. The train beats out a slow, monotonous rhythm beneath us. It's an older machine, the sort that looks like it's supposed to take us to wizarding school or that we should be in a museum. Oh, goodness. When I bought the tickets, I thought we'd be getting on something a bit more modern. Oops. I shift in my seat, the tattered cushion and wooden boards doing little to soothe the pain in my back. We've been on this train for 12 hours. I can feel every one of them in my bones. Tara's been out for the past 6, upright but fast asleep. If the bumpy ride bothers her, she doesn't show it. The paperback she was reading dangles low in her hand, in danger of losing her spot in the book. I scuff my feet across the floor, kicking at nothing. As tired as I am, I'm afraid for our journey to end, for Tara to wake up, to have to talk to her. I'm almost offended that she can sleep. She should be as preoccupied as I am, fighting off intrusive thoughts and wondering what to say. You wouldn't know from looking at her that we've barely spoken for 3 days. That's how long ago I told her that this would be our last trip for the show together, and that I was quitting once we got back home. Everything since then, packing, booking our tickets, finding someone to take care of the cat while we're gone, happened in a blur. We've been cordial, but that's it. My heart hurts, but it tells me I made the right decision. Yawning, I lean back against my seat and pretend it's comfortable. The cushions are unnoticeable, nearly as firm as the wooden floor beneath us. A heater in the corner hems and haws like an old man, but it's not nearly powerful enough to fight off the chill. I desperately wish that I could sleep too, but one of us needs to be awake when we get to the station, and that should be any minute now. Plus, I've never been able to fall asleep on planes or trains anyway. My eyes are sore, and I rub one of them as I press my cheek to the cold window. Outside, it may as well be another world compared to the city we left behind. If not for the moonlight, I wouldn't be able to see anything but the soft white glow makes the snow in nearby forest glisten like it's under some sorcerous spell. A winter wonderland. The trees are all bare, save for the blanket of snow that covers them. Their empty branches look like something out of a kid's Halloween movie, shaking in the wind as if possessed. They seem to stretch on forever, farther than I can even see. It's more like an ocean than a forest. Morgan certainly wasn't exaggerating when she said this place was remote. Intermittent lights flicker amongst the trees in the distant darkness, which I assume come from either winter campers or hermits. I'd call them crazy, but I'm about to be in the exact same position. Something catches my eye. Way out in the woods, one of the trees, barely visible, seems to shake in a different way than the rest, as if blown by a different breeze. A thin layer of frost is beginning to form on the outside of the window as I push my face against it, turning to try and find whatever it was I saw. It's gone, though it was almost certainly never even there to begin with. Either my eyes were playing tricks on me, or the moonlight was. I sigh and sit back again, allowing my eyes to barely close. I won't fall asleep. I'll I'm jostled back into alertness as the train lurches harder than before. There's a shrill whistling sound, and then the shudders of the train grow stronger as we begin to slow down. The driver hit the brakes. We're almost there. Across from me, Tara is undisturbed, somehow. She still hasn't dropped her book. Apparently, she's less clumsy when she's asleep. Through the frosted window, I can see the lights of what must be... Ooh, hold on. I'm tired, y'all. I'm gonna try to read. Eisenfeld. Yeah, we'll go with that. As we approach the station, they're few and far between, like scattered stars. The buildings appear to be placed sporadically, nestled on and around a hill. As we round a bend, the village goes out of sight once more. I can't really put this off any longer. I lean over and shake Tara's shoulder.
Hey, wake up.
Oh my gosh, it's
We're
voice
almost
acted?
there.
That's amazing. Without opening her eyes, Tara mumbles a response.
How close is almost?
Seriously?
I don't know. Couple minutes.
Okay, I'm getting up.
She isn't getting up.
I mean it. If you sleep through the stop, we're just going to...
I'm up, Mads.
She finally opens her eyes. I cut off the end of my sentence, not sure if I was serious or not. We're not even there yet, and we're already snappy. God, I wish I could sleep just a little longer, I tell myself.
You excited?
Little bit.
Lie.
You?
Kinda nervous still.
What is there to be nervous about? We've done this 1,000 times.
Yeah, well, this isn't like those other 1,000 times. And you know that.
She shrugs again, not meeting my eyes.
I don't know, Maddie. I'm sorry. Let's chill.
Yeah, sorry.
We lapse into silence. At least, when she was asleep, it wasn't awkward. I just want off this train. I want to be distracted by going to the cabin and taking in new sights. Any minute now.
Hey, listen.
Yeah?
I know you're, like, not super thrilled to be here.
She pauses, likely hoping for me to disagree. I don't.
But let's just be cool, okay? Let's just try and have a good time.
I breathe a deep sigh and let it out slowly. She's right. I'm committed to this trip. I can at least make it easy on myself.
Yeah, okay. Sorry for getting bitchy. I'm tired.
I feel ya. Hey, how do I look?
Like you just slept for 6 hours on a train.
That bad, huh?
She messes with her hair in some attempt to improve its state. The results are unnoticeable at best.
Hopefully it's good enough for Morgan...
Fisher.
Morgan Fisher.
If she's meeting her online hero or whatever, then I doubt she'll care that your hair's a mess.
God, I hope not. I don't want to end up on some fashion faux pas vid. For real though, if she's super fangirly, then let's just let her get it out of her system and hopefully she won't make things weird later.
Making things get weird later is kind of our specialty though.
Yeah, true. But hey, it got us to 250,000 subs, so like, we must have been doing something right.
I just nod. I still can't help but fixate on how everything she says is past tense. It's over after this. It's fully my decision. All I have to do is say the words, and things will go back to normal. I doubt Tara would ever bring it up again if I asked her not to. It'd be so easy. Yeah, heart of the woods. Let's freaking go. We step off the train and into another world. A frigid wind saps the heat from my body almost immediately, as if it had been waiting until we arrived to pelt us until our skin felt like it was burning. I instinctively wrap my arms around myself to try to preserve what little body heat I have left, but it doesn't change a thing. I might as well not even be wearing a coat for all the good mine does. As nice as it is to have the moon keeping things from being completely pitch black, I could really go for some cloud cover right about now. Anything to keep some warmth around us. Tara doesn't even notice the cold. Armed with nothing but her signature jacket, she seems immune to the chill. She oohs and ahs all over the rustic train platform like there might be a ghost hiding in the rafters. Just a minute later, the train rumbles off into the night, leaving us behind, not a single passenger boarded. Tara watches it go. Oh goodness, sorry, I'm leaning back because like I was really close to my screen. I might just like back because it was like really close to my face. It's like that might be a little bit close. Is the audio coming through okay? Is everything like good? I'm sure it is. I don't even think anyone's watching, so like we're good. Okay. Tara watches it go, nodding in approval.
Okay, this place is already killing it in terms of atmosphere.
It's like she's completely forgotten the uncomfortable energy that had filled the train, back to her usually overly excited self. I should probably be bitter, but instead, I can't help feeling jealous of how she can just shake it off. She has a little pocket camera that she's been carrying with her, and she uses it to take a few pictures of the inky blackness surrounding us. I glance upward at the lights which hang from the ceiling. They're small candles, lit with flame as opposed to electric. One of them has blown out and swings uselessly in the breeze. They're about as ineffective at keeping away the darkness as my coat is at keeping me warm. The low light will surely ruin Tara's photos, but she's snapping away without a care.
You know none of those are actually going to be visible, right?
She ignores me. I should probably just let her enjoy the moment.
This place really does feel super eerie. Listen.
I do, and it soon becomes apparent what she's referring to. The silence. All around us. It's quiet. Even the sound of the train has faded, leaving us in total solitude. The flickering lights of Eisenfeld seem impossibly far away, though I know it can't be more than a half-hour's walk.
It's so quiet. Isn't that cool? We're definitely not in Kansas anymore.
That's one way to put it.
I strain my eyes and ears looking for any hint of Morgan, who's supposed to be picking us up. You'd think the sound of a car's engine would carry pretty far out here.
For real though, I think this could be the place where we finally get some hard evidence. Something solid.
Sorry, just checking Discord. She says this every time, but she usually sounds like she means it more.
Just look at it. Something's gotta be out there. I can feel it.
We both look off towards the trees. From the train, it was difficult to see where they ended. Here on the platform, it's impossible. My expectations aren't any higher than usual, though, which is to say, non-existent. I wonder if Tara really believes what she's saying either. When she speaks again, her voice is quiet.
That would be the perfect send-off, wouldn't it?
Her words sting. Damn it, not here, not already. I want to try and deflect away from this somehow, to set her back on her path. Let her enjoy this moment without me spoiling it.
Who knows? Maybe this will be the one that finally gets you a con panel so you don't have to crash someone else's.
Sorry about that.
That was one time, and their panel would have sucked without me.
Her voice has an edge of her typical bravado again. It's a relief to hear. She returns to her camera, and I give myself a moment to try to take in the surroundings. Supernatural or not, there's something oddly serene about this place. That said, I'd like it a lot more if it wasn't so damn cold. I shiver and cross my arms even tighter. Surely Morgan will be here soon.
I can't wait to see the village tomorrow. I hope it's like one of those museum exhibits with the little replica towns and people.
In what way?
Like, architecturally.
She sounds out the word slowly. Same. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm like having reading moments tonight. It's crazy.
All rustic and old-timey.
I can't imagine that it'll be that different from home. They've got to be modern enough for Morgan to watch Paranormal after all. If you're expecting people to be walking around in monocles and waistcoats, you're gonna be disappointed.
And here I thought I'd finally get a chance to show off how amazing I'd look in a top hat.
I'm sure you'd be the Tina heartthrob of the Victorian era.
She gives me a brief snort of amusement. Her responses feel more muted than usual, but the fact that we're still able to banter is a good sign. I'm glad that I can cheer her up, even if I was the cause of her low mood in the first place. However, after a moment, she looks back at me. Her expression is serious for once.
Okay, so about Morgan. Like I said before, let's give her a chance to get all the excitement out of the way first. We should be nice and friendly, but let's try to keep it professional.
I never thought I'd hear you, of all people, say that.
I find myself flashing back to all the unprofessional situations I've had to extricate Tara from, ranging from bad one-night stands to actual police custody. Jeez! There are a lot of ways I could describe Tara, but professional is definitely not one of them.
Hey, I usually make a good first impression. It's just the second impression and beyond that you've got to watch out for.
I laugh out loud at that, and I catch her smirking before she looks away. She can play it cool all she wants, but I can tell from the way she's bouncing up and down that she's undeniably excited for this fangirling she mentioned. It's usually one of her favorite parts. I'm sure a little ego boost will go a long way right about now. I can feel myself hopping back and forth slightly as well, but that's more out of a desire to keep blood flowing. Thankfully, it isn't too long before I can see the silhouette of someone approaching through the storm.
Oh, thank God.
What's gotta be her, right?
Given that we're the only people out here, I really hope so.
As the girl gets closer, she gets easier to see. She's not exactly an imposing figure, but she moves with purpose. She's carrying a large thermos, which she raises in greeting as she approaches. I wave back. One of the first things I notice about her is that for some ungodly reason, she's not wearing a coat. All she's got on to protect her from the frigid weather is what looks like a hand-knit sweater, much like Tara. Once she reaches the platform, she greets us with nothing more than a tired smile and a small nod. Not exactly the geeking out Tara was expecting.
Hey there, you two. Sorry I'm late.
Her voice is friendly, but flat. She sounds like she hasn't slept in days. Tara looks a little bit taken aback by how subdued she is. Recovering quickly, she puts on her big celebrity grin.
Oh, no worries. Are you Morgan?
That's right. It's really nice to meet you, Tara.
Morgan's smile does seem to grow warmer as she greets her, but her face quickly regains a neutral expression a moment later. I can see Tara's smile faltering as she realizes that this is clearly the maximum amount of geeking out this girl is capable of. To her credit, she recovers well.
Likewise. Charmed, I'm sure.
Okay, maybe not that well. Tara extends her hand, and Morgan gives her a brief handshake before turning to me.
You're Madison, right? I think we spoke online already.
Just Maddie is fine. Nice to meet you.
She shakes my hand as well. It's a firm, friendly handshake that ends as quickly as it began. Before she continues, she takes another sip from her thermos. I find myself wishing for a cup of coffee, too.
It really is nice to meet the two of you. I'm sure you
I
received
need
a lot
water.
of invitations, so I'm glad you were interested in mine.
Are you kidding? Remote village in the middle of a huge forest? There's no way I'd pass that up. I've heard all kinds of stories about the things you'll find in places like this.
Hopefully not too many, or I won't have anything new for you.
Oh, I'm sure you've got something I'll be interested in.
Real smooth, Tara. So much for being professional. I can see Morgan's mouth twitch slightly at that comment. I can only hope it was being... Gosh! Okay. I can see Morgan's mouth twitch slightly at the comment. I can only hope it was something closer to a smile than a grimace.
Tomorrow I can show you around the village. There isn't too much out of the ordinary there, but I'm sure you can find a few things that interest you.
That would be wonderful. We can go sightseeing when Tara isn't off chasing spirits around in the woods.
Morgan and I both smile. Tara flashes me a look of mock annoyance for the slight. But it's probably eating her up that I've gotten more of a reaction out of Morgan than she has.
It's about a half-hour's carriage ride to the cabin if you guys want to head out. Do you need help with your bags at all?
Tara lifts her bags, giving Morgan another shiny grin. I'm pretty sure I see her accidentally flex her arms, too.
Don't even worry about it. I got this.
Okay, cool. This way.
As we follow her, I can see Tara pouting behind her. I've never seen the wind get taken out of her sails like that. At least that gives her another thing to think about besides my departure. Wait a second. Did she say carriage?
No. Way.
We're standing in front of an honest-to-God horse-drawn carriage. If it weren't for the little white puffs of breath coming out of the horses' noses, I'd be willing to believe that it was some sort of commemorative statue.
This is so cool. Is it yours?
It belongs to my family. Given that there aren't any roads through the woods, there isn't really a point to anyone out here owning a car.
I move closer, examining the craftsmanship as best as I can in the moonlight. The design is fairly bare bones, but a few flourishes here and there, and some semi-ornate painted finishes make it clear that this was something built with love and care. Somehow, I'm the only one who seems intrigued by our ride.
Tara, come take a look at this.
As I speak, I look back and see her standing completely still, as if the cold has her rooted into the spot.
Give me a sec. I'm just taking in the view a bit. From a distance.
She's trying to act nonchalant, but her wide eyes keep flicking towards the horses. Her previously genuine grin has turned into a very nervous grimace. Slowly inching forward, she scoots further away from the horses as she approaches the carriage. I doubt she planned for the part of her first impression to Morgan learning that... I am so sorry. It's like 11 o'clock. I'm bad at reading. I doubt she planned for part of her first impression to be Morgan learning that she's absolutely terrified of horses. She had better at least learn to tolerate them, or this is going to be an even longer trip than I expected.
Wait, if this is the only way through the woods, how are we going to get back and forth between the cabin and the village? Don't tell me we'll have our own carriage. Neither of us can drive one.
Oh, I'm going to be driving you. I can take you back and forth and help you navigate the woods. You didn't expect me to just let you wander around a forest in the middle of nowhere without a guide, did you?
Tara, still slowly making her way towards the carriage, does her best to give me a look of excitement. If anything, it resembles the look of a panicked hostage. The fact that she's trying to play it cool is almost admirable in its futility.
You're sure that's not any trouble? I'd hate to inconvenience you any more than we already have.
It's no trouble. I run my own shop, so my schedule is pretty flexible. I'm more than happy to help.
She looks over at Tara, who has finally made it within a few feet of the carriage. She shoots us both a thumbs up.
I have a feeling she might need it.
Trust me, you have no idea.
Morgan turns and deftly swings up into her seat, taking a hold of the reins. Tara finally manages to place her hands on the carriage and climb up to sit alongside her, shaking all the way. I let out a sigh of relief and follow suit, mounting up next to Tara. It's a little cramped up here, but I'd feel weird just sitting by myself. Besides, not keeping an eye on Tara is pretty guaranteed way to make an even worse first impression.
So, can you do any tricks in this thing?
The path to the cabin turns out to be a complicated one. We've been making twists and turns through the trees for a few minutes, but Morgan seems to know exactly where she's going. Not even the dark can stand in her way.
You can navigate through all this with just that little lantern? How can you see landmarks?
Don't worry, I know these woods better than just about anything. Besides, the moonlight is more than enough for me.
I can't help but feel embarrassed as I think about all the times I had to use the flashlight on my phone just to find something I dropped in the car. I definitely wouldn't last out here. Looking over, I can see Tara bouncing her leg, probably about to launch into a torrent of questions for Morgan. After that flubbed introduction, she's clearly a little less gung-ho than usual, but I know that won't stop her. As such, I should probably get my handling of the actual adult stuff out of the way quickly before it gets lost in the noise.
Is there anything about the town or the people that we should know? Local customs, things to avoid saying, that sort of thing?
Morgan thinks about it for a moment, silent.
There's a curfew at midnight. Also, you're not supposed to go too far into the forest. I ignore both of those rules a lot. Most of the villagers tend to be sticklers about them, though.
Great, so our host is a troublemaker. I guess that means Tara will be in good company.
So, while we're on our way, could you maybe tell us about some of the specific supernatural occurrences you've seen here so far?
Here she goes. Morgan sits up at the question. She looks over toward us, and her eyes seem to lose a bit of their constant drowsiness. She's been waiting for this.
Well, we have a lot of freak weather events. Strange storms that appear and disappear or are localized to certain parts of the forest in ways that shouldn't be possible.
Tara nods solemnly, already totally enraptured in what Morgan is saying.
Sometimes when I walk in the woods, I can see strange lights here and there, like tiny little stars inside the forest. I've never been able to get close to them, though.
I raise an eyebrow, but don't say anything. We've had countless cases of strange lights before, all of which have ended with rational explanation that doesn't seem to damper Tara's spirits, though. I start to drift off. This is more Tara's jurisdiction anyway, so I'm sure they can just wake me up when we get there.
There's also my cat.
Your cat is a supernatural occurrence?
She can talk, so I'd say so.
Her words snap me out of my trance. Looking over at her, I expect her to see her holding in a laugh or sporting some kind of mischievous grin, but her face is as serious as it's been since we arrived.
Your cat can talk? Like, talk the way a human does?
Yes, she's very well spoken, in fact.
I try to hide a sigh. Weird weather and lights in the woods are ambiguous enough that we can play along with them. But every so often we get these blatantly fake claims too, like a talking cat. A talking cat, like the movie, like the classic movie, A Talking Cat, if you guys have ever seen it. Tara, however, instantly perks up once her words sink in. She can't actually believe her, right?
So, could we talk to her? She won't mind if I ask her a few questions, right?
I was hoping you'd ask. I think you'll be very interested in what she has to say.
The whole thing is clearly some kind of joke, but Tara is absolutely taken in. I can practically see the wheels turning in her head as she plans out her follow-up questions. That's never good.
So, do you have any ideas about what could be causing it? Something in her diet, maybe?
I don't think so.
Have you been feeding her some kind of special Eisenfeld cat food? Can I try some?
Okay, I think that's enough of that.
When Tara starts talking about eating cat food, it's time for me to exercise a little diplomacy and move the conversation forward. Crazy or not, I think we should move on.
So, what kind of things does she talk to you about?
Just about our lives for the most part. I figure you'd be better off hearing it from her rather than me.
I'm sure that'll be illuminating.
I'll say, if there's something that paranormal in the village itself, you must have seen way crazier stuff in these woods.
She starts to gesture as she talks, pointing back towards the village and swinging her arms around as she mentions the woods.
Well, there's one pretty major thing, but you probably won't believe me.
I wouldn't have come out here if I didn't believe you. Anything you have to say, I want to hear.
I can't detect a hint of cynicism in her voice. Either she really believed this girl she just met has a talking cat, or she's giving a performance worthy of an Oscar.
Are you sure?
110%. Lay it on me.
She winks at her and flashes her finger guns, back in celebrity mode. Tara's good at recovery with these things, but I've never seen her recover on this level with such speed. But as I watch her lean in towards Morgan to make sure she catches her next statement, I realize another possible reason for her passionate response. If there's one thing she loves more than hearing strange stories, it's trying to impress a cute girl. Now things are starting to fall into place a bit more.
Well, one of the main reasons I called you out here is I'm not sure if it has a name, but it's some kind of forest spirit.
Spirit? Like a ghost or something?
No, something physical. Some sort of massive creature, like the forest came to life.
Okay, this is new. Even the crazier fans don't get this outlandish. but Tara is absolutely eating it up. No matter what her reasoning is, I'm glad she's having a good time.
Is there anything else you can tell me about it? Does it speak or anything? Have you managed to interact with it at all? Is it more kaiju-sized or more basketball player-sized?
I've only seen it once, unfortunately, so I don't know too much about it. I've searched for it a number of times since, but without any results. Who knows? Maybe you two will have better luck than I have. That's what you're best at, isn't it?
In terms of talents, I'd say it's certainly up there.
Morgan's mouth turns up into a small but seemingly genuine smile, and her expression grows slightly less intimidating.
I knew you'd believe me. Nobody else around here does.
I can't imagine why. I feel a pang of guilt as that thought crosses my mind. As crazy as her story sounds, it can't possibly be easy feeling rejected in a community this isolated. No wonder she was eager to bring us into the fold.
So, how far away would you say we are from the cabin?
We should be coming up on it any minute now. I'll help the two of you get situated and then head back. I'll be happy to tell you more about the spirit tomorrow.
Thank God.
Oh yeah, great. That's great. I'm exhausted.
That much isn't a lie. All I want to do right now is pass out. We passed the last of the houses that I could see, but the sparsely marked path continues on towards the forest. The last traces of civilization are behind us now.
By any minute now? What exactly did you mean?
I can't keep the biting tone entirely out of my voice.
Just ahead. See?
She points forward into the darkness. I strain my eyes to see anything other than murk. Finally, I spot the faint outline of a small cabin, practically swallowed by forest.
I started the heater before I left to get you, so it should be warm.
That's what I like to hear. You're like Prometheus.
I'm surprised you know who that is.
Why? I love that movie.
Morgan suddenly jerks the reins and the horses come to a stop. Tara and I are rattled from our seats and nearly fall forward.
Damn it!
What happened?
Rather than answer, Morgan just glares into the darkness where the cabin is. I strain to see what she does as my heart starts to race. Is it a wild animal? A bear? A wolf? There's the sound of footsteps as a shadow detaches itself from the cabin and moves towards us. A human shadow. An older woman comes into view, stopping just at the edge of the lantern's light. She's clearly related to Morgan. Her angular figures and steely eyes, barely visible in the dark, make her look like she stepped out of a Baroque painting.
Why are you here?
I came to greet our guests.
She spits the word "our," clearly asserting some sort of ownership. I suck in an involuntary breath as she approaches. Being able to see her more clearly isn't a reassurance. If anything, it's the opposite. Something about her radiates hostility. Even the horses seem uncomfortable, their ears pressed back as they stamp their feet in the snow. Up close, her gaze is sharp and fierce. Her face is proud but sunken, cheekbones jutting as if her face doesn't quite fit. It makes her look older than she is.
Which of you is Tara?
Mouth drawn thin, she looks from me to Tara and then back again. Each second that passes makes the discomfort grow. I keep waiting for Morgan to intervene, but she doesn't. Tara and I exchange a quick, nervous glance. Then she clears her throat and leans forward, offering a handshake.
That's me.
The woman regards Tara's outstretched hand for a moment and ignores it.
Welcome to Eisenfeld. My name is Evelyn, the mayor. Who are you?
Her attention flicks to me like a hand on a clock.
I'm Maddie. Madison. Tara's manager?
I see.
It's clear that she's judging us, though I have no idea on what.
Are you done yet? They're tired. You can interrogate them later.
Just what exactly was she volunteering us for? Interrogate is kind of a strong word. Our host makes absolutely no effort to disguise the loathing in her voice. In a town as small as this one, I can't imagine that speaking to someone as important as the mayor like that is a good idea. Though Evelyn appears entirely unfazed. She remains in the middle of the trail, blocking our path. She and Morgan stare each other down, while Tara and I sit in painfully uncomfortable silence. After at least a minute, the mayor finally steps out of the way and heads back up the way she came.
We'll speak
The way
later.
Oh shit, this lady seems mean. It's clearly a command, not a request. The carriage sits immobile until the sound of Evelyn's footsteps are lost to the night. And even beyond that.
So she seems nice.
Her statement seems to snap Morgan back into the present. Morgan flicks the reins, and we begin moving again. She turns around to face us, looking genuinely apologetic.
I'm so sorry about that. I thought she'd at least wait until tomorrow, and I'd have some time to prepare you beforehand.
Is she your mom?
Technically.
What? No way! How could you tell?
The family resemblance?
Morgan purses her lips.
Unfortunate, isn't it? Long story short, I didn't tell her that you were going to be staying here until this morning.
I'm speechless, hoping that it's just a joke and the punchline fell flat. But Morgan's clearly serious. For the second time in a handful of minutes, I'm wondering what we've gotten ourselves into. Tara laughs, though I can tell it's forced.
Well, it's no big deal, right? It's not like she runs your life.
Silence.
Right?
Eventually, Morgan nods.
Right. We shouldn't get into it right now, though. I'm sure you'd rather sleep tonight.
I can see Tara gathering the breath to disagree and tell Morgan that we'd love to hear all about her family issues right now, so I head her off.
Yeah, we would.
Whatever family drama it is that she's gotten us involved in, it can at least wait until I'm not about to pass out. The carriage comes to a stop just a few feet away from the door. A small stone path has the snow cleared away from it and leads to a short flight of stairs. We're facing a large window, although it's dark and impossible to see into. Morgan vaults out of the carriage, nimbly landing on her feet.
I'll unlock the door. Your luggage already came in too, so it's inside.
Tara launches herself out of the carriage, just like Morgan did, and then she quickly scurries away from the patient horses, eyeing them for any sudden movements. I climb down as she stands, an extremely safe distance away.
I can't carry all of this on my own, you know.
I toss her bag, and she lurches to catch it, barely keeping it from landing on the snow. We stand back and watch as Morgan fiddles endlessly with the lock on the door, pushing and trying again over and over. Now that we're so close to the end, I can feel the last of my reserves of energy rapidly draining. The bags in my arms feel like they weigh 1,000,000 pounds.
So, what do you think?
She mutters as quietly as she can, though her timing couldn't be worse.
I think I want to go to bed.
Same as ever, then.
You know me.
Rubbing my arms, I peer into the forest. Just beyond the first few lines of trees, everything fades into an inky blackness, thick and impenetrable. I shiver, not entirely because of the cold. A cool breeze rattles the empty branches as they scrape against each other, mimicking the way I'm trying to stay warm. Finally, there's a banging sound as Morgan solves the mystery of the lock and nearly falls through the door. She pokes her head back, though, through like nothing happened.
I got it open.
Hallelujah.
I haul my way inside and into the blessed warmth. It's been so long since we've been near a working heater. A small lamp on the side table casts a bit of light over the small room. Our luggage, as promised, is scattered haphazardly around the living room, just like home. Tara slips past me to bounce around and examine it all, her bags hurled as carelessly as I pulled them out of the carriage.
Oh my god! Holy shit! This is so cool!
There's nothing really out of the ordinary, so I just stand there and wait for her to get it all out of her system.
Isn't this the coolest? It's like staying in a history museum.
That's the kind of thing you'd usually treat like a punishment.
Are you kidding me? I love history. We even did that whole series on the history of cryptids in the American Midwest. And I spent like 3 months on that special about Bigfoot's impact on the Great Depression.
That's one of my favorite episodes.
I kind of love her, I'm sorry.
The theory that FDR was a cousin of Sasquatch.
To be fair, I don't think FDR did either.
Morgan laughs, and I just roll my eyes.
I mean the kind of history that actually happened.
History is doomed to repeat itself, Mads.
I don't even respond. That whole episode felt like the plot of an awful low-budget B-movie. Instead, I cross the living area towards a tiny hallway with a pair of identical doors.
These are the bedrooms?
That's right. They're the same size, so there's not much of a difference.
Guess I'll take this one then.
I push open the closer door. Inside, it's just 4 walls with a bed and a shelf and a small dresser. I drop my bag on the floor and roll my suitcase in. Tara lingers in the living room, talking about the features of the cabin with Morgan. Oh my gosh! Suddenly, I hear her yelp in pain or horror. I rush back out, knocking over my suitcase and nearly slamming into the door as I go. I half expect to see Morgan holding a bloody knife or something, but instead, Tara's just holding her phone.
What happened?
A tragedy. Actually, worse, the apocalypse. Check out your phone.
I do as she says, expecting a news article or an alert or something, but there's nothing.
What? I don't have anything.
Exactly. No service out here.
I check. Sure enough, she's right. There isn't the barest trace of a signal at all.
What about Wi-Fi? I assume we have that, right?
Technically.
Oh no. I stocked up on books and downloaded a bunch of new films before we left, since I wasn't expecting to have much connection out here anyway. But I'm willing to bet the thought never even crossed Tara's mind. Good thing I packed a few books I think she'll like too. Tara glumly pockets her phone again as Morgan gives us a small smile.
Let me give you the quick tour.
I don't think it's entirely necessary since we can see everything ourselves, but I don't stop her.
This is the kitchen. There's a stove and an oven. The stove is somewhat picky and doesn't always like to work. Actually, I guess it's the same for the oven.
Don't worry, I don't know how to cook anyway.
Over here is the fireplace. I can show you how to chop firewood sometime if you'd like.
I think I might pass on that one.
This is the couch. You can also sleep on it if you'd like. It doesn't unfold into a bed or anything, but I sometimes come here and sleep on it anyway.
You know, I am doing a good job voice acting for Maddie, I think, in like the headspace, because I am also really, really tired right now. I'm able to capture the energy of a dang, like, like a really, really tired girl who has seen like just a long day, because I have. Oh my gosh. It's so weird though, because like I kind of slept in today. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I was making up for like a sleep debt or something, but like, I don't know. I say slept in. Like I got up at like 10 or something, so it's not like the worst, but oh my gosh, yeah, I'm like really tired for some reason. It's only like 11 o'clock. It's crazy.
The Wi-Fi password is on a note by the phone. So is my phone number, so you can reach me anytime. Do you have any questions?
I shake my head and look at Tara, who does the same.
I think we're good. Thanks for all your help tonight, Morgan.
It was my pleasure. Again, I can't thank you enough for coming all the way out here. I'll be sure to make it worth your time.
I'm sure. Can't wait to get started.
Me either. But I should probably be going for tonight. I've kept you up long enough as it is.
She heads out the front door, waving goodbye.
Night, Morgan. Thanks again.
Good night.
Through the large window, we can see as she starts to make her way down the path.
I'm gonna go to bed too.
Yeah, same.
We switch off the lamp as we head to our respective rooms. Tara grabs her bags from the floor where she tossed them.
All right, see you in the morning then?
Yeah, night.
I shut the door behind me, and she does the same. I sway like a zombie as I stalk towards my bed. It takes the last of my strength to dig my pajamas out of my suitcase and change. There's a window here that looks straight out into the forest. The first thing I do is pull the curtain shut. Crawling into bed, I face away from the window and pull the blanket up to my chin. It's heavy and warm, and I wrap it around myself like a burrito. The bed is firmer than I'm used to, and the pillow is thinner. There are like 3 other blankets, though, so I ball one of them up and use it as a second pillow. As I try to get comfortable, my thoughts start to drift. A detached part of me is glad that the timing worked out well to avoid the jet lag. And in all, aside from the Wi-Fi, this is pretty nice as far as accommodations go, especially since we're not paying for it. It seems strange that Morgan would come all the way out here just to take naps sometimes, but I can already tell that most of what Morgan does would be considered strange. Strange but harmless, I don't mind, but when I think of her mother, the mayor, a chill runs down my spine, and I bundle myself more tightly in the blankets. I should give her a second chance, though, especially if she didn't have any warning about our arrival. It stands to reason that she'd be annoyed at Morgan renting out her family's cabin like that. When I think of it that way, her reaction seems pretty justified. I'll just be extra polite to her next time we meet. Hopefully it isn't an interrogation like Morgan said. That was probably just her being dramatic. I yawn, wishing sleep would come faster. I expected to be out before my head hit the pillow, not lying here with my thoughts racing. I try to block it out and everything and focus on my breathing. In, out, in, out, in, aloud. Oh my freaking gosh, what the heck? I don't know if that got picked up on the mic, but right as I said aloud, there was like an explosion outside. I swear someone's like firing off guns like at this apartment complex. I can't deal with this. Okay. That was scary, y'all. What the heck? I'm going to try to read this line again without a gunshot happening outside. A loud tap, tap, tap on the window cuts through the silence. My heart leaps to my throat as I bolt upright in bed. I get tangled on the blankets, scrambling to haul them off me. With one hand, I desperately feel for my glasses nearby. I finally find them and shove them onto my face, nearly jabbing my eye out. With horror, I look out to the window, the one that made me uncomfortable from the start. It's Morgan. Lantern in hand, fist raised against the glass. She stands there patiently. If she knows what kind of emotional roller coaster she just put me through, she doesn't show it. Shakily, I walk over to the window, not even switching on the lamp. With some difficulty, I wrench it open, disturbing a small mound of snow.
Yes?
It's the best I can manage. Anything longer, and I'm not sure I could keep it civil.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you. Please be ready to go by 8, and I'll come pick you up.
I just blink, unable to comprehend what I'm hearing.
Is that okay? We could make it 8:30, but no later.
No, 8 is fine. Is that all?
That's right. Have a good night. Sorry if I disturbed you.
I slam the window shut and hobble back to bed. She doubled back in the snow and scared the hell out of me for that. I check the time on my phone. It's nearly midnight. 8 hours to sleep and then be ready to go. It's going to be a long month, isn't it? Blah, blah, blah. Okay, hold on. Let me, blah, blah, blah. Okay. It's 8 hours and 34 minutes later. I know because it's telling. I know because telling time is my phone's only remaining function, and I still check how much hours for my change. True to her word, Morgan was there to pick us up right at 8. It's a minor miracle that Tara and I were both ready to go. I don't know who had it worse, me waking up to my alarm or Tara waking up to me banging on her door. Even now, she slowly eats a piece of bread from the kitchen, looking for all the world like a cow chewing cud. I might be too tired, actually, to may end it soon. Although it's like, I don't know. I don't want to just stop it here, but it kind of feels like a decent place to stop. With each bump that carriage hits, my tiny cup of coffee threatens to spill into my hand. I'm not sure that I'd feel it. After answering Morgan's perfunctory questions about our first night, we spent the rest of the ride in silence. She didn't acknowledge at all how she had knocked on my window. Apparently it wasn't remarkable enough to her to even deserve another mention. I watch from over her shoulder now as we approach the town. From the train last night, the scattered lights made Eisenfeld appear to be a lot larger than it really is. Now in the daylight, I have to strain my eyes to pick out some of the buildings against the hills and snow. Tara's missing it all, staring at her feet. Crumbs litter the floor beneath her. Morgan guides us along a path that I'm pretty sure is the same one as last night. A few villagers move out of the way of the carriage, not even turning to look. It must be regular occurrence. Even though it's hard for anyone to see us in here, I still feel self-conscious. I clutch the bag of camera gear tighter to my chest, hiding myself behind it. There aren't any other carriages on the road, nor anything bigger than a push cart, so we still stand out, at least in my head. If the situation is at all awkward or out of the ordinary to Morgan, she doesn't show it. She pulls the reins and the carriage comes to a stop at the road. There aren't as many other people up here, but what few there are give us a wide berth.
And here we are.
Tara finally perks up, the words clearly spoken for her benefit. It takes her a moment to realize that we've made an entrance, but as soon as she does, she's in showbiz mode. She leaps to her feet, throwing off the exhaustion like a disguise.
Here we are indeed.
She vaults out of the carriage, spinning circles like we're in the middle of a grand plaza instead of the middle of the street. I climb out more carefully, then scurry out of the way.
Okay, this rules.
It really does feel like we've traveled back in time. The buildings, all built from wood and stone, look like they've been here for centuries. Oh, there's music. Hold on. Wait. Oh my gosh, you can adjust the voices of, like, the characters? That's crazy. Okay, that works. We'll do that. I want to hear the music. That's pretty cool. Wow, yeah. Did not know that that was a, Okay. Oh. My dad's home. I think I'll end the stream here for now. Whenever I feel like playing this game again, I'll hop back on.